Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Saturday. Today we are gonna make scones. This recipe is really easy and kids love it because the mixture feels like sand in their hands and it's just fun to work with. So I hope you enjoy.
And I will link this recipe in the description box below. That way you have all the ingredients and steps easy to read. So in a large bowl, the first thing you want to combine is 2 1/4 cups of flour, then a half cup of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Finally, a fourth teaspoon of salt. Give it a good mix. And then you want to cut in the butter, and the butter needs to be cold. So I would recommend not pulling this out until you're actually ready to use it. And here comes the fun part for kids. This mixture, when you start using your hands to mix it, is going to be like cool sand. It's a texture that my daughter just absolutely loves. You kind of just grab it with your hands, squeeze the butter in between your fingers just to kind of mix some of that flour mixture into the butter. For the next step, I like to use a 2-cup Pyrex measuring cup. It's just easier for me because I can measure in it. So you'll need a half cup of sour cream, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You'll mix that all together. Then you want to combine those wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. I like to give it a little stir with the spatula, but then go in with my hands and really knead it together. You do want to make sure that the dough is well incorporated, but you do want to make sure that it's not over mixed because that's just going to break down the gluten and warm up the dough. And you want a nice cold dough for this. Now do as I say and not as I do because I added the blueberries a little bit too prematurely here. You do want to make sure the dough is a little more combined and come together before you add the blueberries. So make sure to do that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with really cold hands. But when you are ready, you want to add 1 cup of frozen blueberries and then knead it all together and get it really well incorporated with the dough. I think that it's probably about scant 1 cup blueberries, but 1 cup is easy enough. You just might have some on the bottom of the bowl when you're all finished. Then you'll want to press out the dough. Typically, I would do it in a circle and just cut 8 slices like a pie to make them nice and even in the correct scone shape. Today, I did it a little bit more long and narrow because I have a little 6-month-old. Well, she's like almost 8 months now. I have an 8-month-old and she likes the ends. Those are easier for her to hold. So I made them a little bit longer so that the ends would break off and she could easily eat those. But whatever shape you want is perfectly fine. You want to then transfer them to your baking sheet. I then like to put them in the fridge for 40 minutes just to relax the gluten and keep it all nice and cold because again, you really do want scones nice and cold when you put them in the oven. So I would then preheat the oven to 425, put them in the oven after they have cooled, and bake them for about 15 to 18 minutes. Oh, they smell so, so good. They look good. They may not look as white and airy as the Starbucks scones, but I will promise you they are better than them. Oh, they're just so delicious. I hope that you get to make these at home. I came up with this recipe when I was in Australia staying with a family and I wanted to make them a nice treat. I then have repeatedly made them many times. In fact, I even made them when I was in the middle of labor with Juliana just to pass the time. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you like this content, and I will see you next time.